psychic development reading for the Dark Essence. Okay, so I have your questions here and I looked them over. Some of these are really, really, really detailed, meaning there's almost like 10 different things in like, it's more like 10 questions or 15 questions, even though there's only 4 here. Because these questions are very, 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 well, they're very intense questions. They're deep, detailed questions. So they need to be detailed, but on the other hand, with questions like these, it's like one question leads to another question. And so right away, one of the things that your guides were coming in with when I finished reading the questions immediately was wolf. And so I'm definitely going to be suggesting they're coming in with that. So I'm definitely going to be suggesting a session with wolf for the reason of the types of questions that these are. And I know that I just have this feeling sometimes with a physical person sitting there talking to a physical person versus just your guides and a medium communicating to your guides, there's this feeling that speaking to a physical person that has, he really, he's gone through a lot of these things, but he has a serious grounding when it comes to some of these questions that you are asking about. He is really mastered really all these things that you're asking about when it comes to other people. Psychically protecting yourself is one thing. And also when it comes to trusting yourself, acknowledging your abilities, all these types of things. Okay, another thing that's coming in right away is price. And to really think about what you are charging. And in the way of it being too low. Because they're kind of coming in with this energy of being self-sacrificing. Spiritual people a lot of the time feel that they should self-sacrifice, but all that really does is cause someone else to be selfish. And it really has to do with what people think. You know that you would be better off for you making a certain amount. You know that it would be easier actually for you to help more people because you would feel grounded and complete and secure and be able to deliver better information, and you would be able to do even much more sessions. And also I feel an energy that the universe would actually pass more to you, more work to you, and you wouldn't need this other job if you would raise your prices and trust. And this is part of the energy of trusting also, and also going against this feeling of not being worth and not having value, that you're worth less, that your work doesn't have so much value as what they're giving to you. So if your work feels more valueless to you, then you're going to put much less of a value on it. And you're going to feel to help people and give your time away for free, give your time away for nothing. And a lot of people, you know, they'll say, oh, well, you know, this type of service should be free because this is information. You're giving me information. And because what you're doing is, it seems to me like what you're doing is, it's a little bit of a mix of what Wolf does and what I do. And I felt like that's also kind of the reason that they were suggesting the session with Wolf, because you are doing this type of healing that doesn't just involve reading, it involves shamanic skill, and it also seems like it has to do even somewhat with life coaching and listening to others. So empathy, that is definitely a gift that you have: empathy, understanding others, listening to others, but also communicating with the divine as well. And just intuitively intuitively inspired advice. So that it's like a mix of mediumship, your skill, as far as your knowledge as to, you know, probably things like what herbs to use, and or whatever types of shamanic tools you're using, you have knowledge about that. And then also life coaching. There's kind of, you know, there's different things, and even this past life regression, you know, this is also a skill. So they're saying to make sure you're charging the right price, and that it needs to be higher. And they're also saying that you're expected to charge higher if you're on a certain caliber, not lower. And that's expected. Once you reach a certain point, you should be charging according to your ability, your gifts. And so in that sense, it's declaring that you're worth more to go ahead and up your prices. It's declaring that you are worth more, that you are more valuable, that you are on a higher caliber. You're not just learning to do it. You are ready to gain more through giving more. Your abilities are expanded. You are wiser. They're saying you're more mature. You have a lot of information and knowledge. And I do feel like that is, in a sense, grounding for you, the information that you have, the knowledge that you have. And you know that that you are knowledgeable with these practices, that you do have a lot of information when it comes to them. So it feels like it's more about the intuitive nudges, even more so than exactly how to do the sessions. But they are saying that as well, because you're saying you need to trust yourself. They're saying that too. They're saying that it isn't really about becoming more psychic or getting better at the sessions. It really is just about furthering your own commitment to yourself, is what they're saying. It's about commitment to yourself. Because they're saying that right now you've tended to do a lot of encouragement for others, and at the same time depleting yourself. And this is with family, friends. This isn't just with the sessions where they're saying that you need to charge more as well. But this is kind of a theme going on here. Because with the sessions, they're kind of saying that as well. Don't give them away for nothing, and set the price at what you are worth, at what the sessions are worth, what it is worth. Because they're saying if this is your calling, then you need to make money doing this. If this is your calling and you want to make this full time, then you also have to support yourself. And they are supporting you, and you are supporting them. It is an exchange. So they're saying to make that a priority, to charge more than to charge what's expected, to charge more than you're thinking. And they're saying to look around and see what do most professionals charge for this type of service. Like, for instance, even if you were to go to, and they're bringing this up, but if you were to go to, for instance, like a New Age shop, and you say, you know, you're a shaman and you want to give these sessions here, they're going to say, okay, how much do you charge? And they're going to say, because you have to charge at least this price. They say that you have to charge at least this price in order to have the sessions here. Or sometimes they have a set price. You have to charge this amount, because they're going to be taking some of the amount that you are getting. Or sometimes they allow you to set your own price. It isn't always a set price, but they do say that it has to be above a certain amount. And this is also because the readers are expected to be at a certain caliber, and they test their readers or their shamans. You know, they have a session with the person. So it's like they test them out. And then people are expected to give a certain amount of exchange, to give a certain exchange for the caliber of information that they're going to be receiving. This word just keeps coming in, caliber. The caliber that you are on, the level that you are on, the level that you have obtained, the level of understanding that you have, and how deeply you are going to affect them and even be affected by these energies. So you have to charge according to how does it affect you, how much energy are you going to be expending, how much does it take from you. That's one of the ways that you charge. That's one of the things that you are asking in exchange for. How much energy does it take from you? And then on the other hand, how much are they receiving? But it's both. So it has to do with your expected output, and it has to do with their expected gain. And some people are not going to be open to it, and they're not going to get as much as others. But that isn't your fault. That has to do with those people. Also, they're also suggesting that you begin to really take time to surround yourself with open people, with sensitive people, and that you make more time for the right types of encouraging friends for yourself. You know, you need encouragement, and you need to surround yourself with a community of people who find this fascinating and are into it themselves, that don't judge it, that don't call you out for being into this stuff and think that it's wrong of you, or it's a waste of time, or like you said, that you're crazy or sick. Because your guides are saying that's sick, that mentality, meaning it's mental illness, it's sick. And right, and that is what is abnormal. That is the abnormal way of living and being and breathing and operating. Not believing in metaphysical abilities, not having psychic awareness. This comes naturally to a person who isn't shutting it down by programmings which are abnormal. And therefore, that is the normal way to be. And your guides are simply saying, they are simply stating to you that you are normal and encouraging you to continue being normal. To be normal and continue doing so, and continue being that way. That is normal. They're saying that you are expected to be normal, nothing else. You're not expected to be great, you're just expected to be normal. Normal is psychically open. And they're saying this is normal for you. This is your normal way to be and live. So when other people are challenging this, they're actually just coming against your normality. They're asking you to step out of being normal and to step out of what is right for you. And therefore, even in this way, not doing what your path is telling you, what your heart is calling you to do, is there again, self-sacrificing, stepping off of your path for them, or because of what they think, that's still for them. It's still to gain a certain reaction from them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the crystals now. I have 2 white crystals and 2 kind of darker crystals here. So there is also this balance going on, even though the code name is the Dark Essence. Okay, but also they're saying, so there is this higher aspect, and there is this grounding aspect. Okay, so these white crystals are representing these higher energies coming in, whereas these darker ones are representing a grounding energy coming in, like a Mother Earth type of energy. And obviously, you know, a feminine, divine feminine energy can be higher, just like a masculine energy can be very grounding. But this is the way that they are presenting it right now. So I have these 2. Now this also is good for clearing. Okay, cutting bonds, cutting ties. So you've got to cut some ties to family. You have to cut some cords to family and friends. They can't affect you in this way. So it's not about never communicating with them, never seeing them, but there's this they're saying there's this imbalance of power and structure where it's like they attempt to gain power over the way you live your life, over your structure of doing things. Even the way that you eat, I get a feeling of that there are energies against that as well. And that the way that you would want to eat would even shift. And the way that you do eat, that this would shift. Even your diet, I feel like, would shift. I even feel like even what you wear might end up shifting. Okay. This is why they're coming in with the session with Wolf. He helped me with this so much. It's like there's this energy of what you are expected to do and expected to be like. And they're saying that you have to go against that. Because they're saying that fear is a challenge to meet. So if you're afraid of something, they're saying that you have to do it. If you're afraid of raising your prices, you have to do it. If you're afraid of being a certain way in front of others, then be open to it. And they're saying if they reject you, like they're saying, find new friends. And it doesn't mean that you never see those old ones, but you might lose some of them if they reject you to that extent. Or if you decide, hey, you're being rude to me. This is just not serving me anymore. You're not a true friend. You're not a real friend. So they're saying to congregate towards energies that are going to serve you, not energies that are going to keep you locked up in this cycle. And for some reason, they're saying trial and error. It's like where you keep moving forward and then moving back, and then moving forward and then moving back, and trying this and changing your mind, changing the way that you do things. And so much of it is to fit the needs of others, fit the pulls of others, the desires of others when it comes to your structure of living. It's not just about the psychic stuff. It wants you to examine all areas where you have this tendency to feel a pull or a trigger, they're saying, to let fear back you into this corner where you do things in a different way from the way that you would naturally intend to do them. Okay, so I have my selenite here, and they're both wands, and I have my quartz wand here. And then I have my purple fluorite and my tektite. These are both really, really psychic stones. These two have to do with higher energies, and they have to do with clearing. But these have to do with grounding, and they also have to do with going more within. And they have to do with psychic abilities as well as psychic protection. And they're saying and psychic influence and gaining psychic abilities and also protecting you from psychic influence from others. So these higher energies are going to cut cords. They're saying that even when it comes to being dependent versus independent, or being reliant on a job that you don't want, this has to do with cords. And I do feel like there are others in your family who are in this sort of pattern, where they're kind of making fun of you, but really they haven't done what they wanted in life necessarily. And there's this energy, like sometimes when people are attempting to inhibit the freedom of another person, it really has to do with their own insecurity and the fact that they wanted to go down a path, and they were fearful of doing that. They were fearful of ridicule from other people, or they may have received it themselves, or received some kind of discouragement from others when it came to following their own life path. Whether that was psychic or something else, probably something else in their cases. But there's still this energy of not really being able to do what they would really want to do, and almost this nonchalant kind of energy, like rather than life being really blissful and full, it ends up being kind of blasé and just these kind of empty cycles and patterns that they are in, and they continue doing them on and on and on. And they say that they're happy and fulfilled, and in some areas they are. But when it comes to really fully serving themselves, they haven't really done that. And so they want to discourage you from really obtaining freedom in all areas and obtaining fullness in all areas, because they would have to look at that. They would have to look at themselves. And why didn't they do that? So it's almost like people, like lower vibrational people, that want to be around others who are on a lower vibration as well. And they want to, if somebody's rising up, they don't want to see that. They don't want to have to look at that, feel that expression. And they wouldn't want to have to think about expressing it possibly themselves. This idea, not really the idea of psychic abilities and things like this, but the idea of their own freedom to express what they truly desire. That would be a very fearful area for them, a fearful arena for them. So they would rather block someone else from expressing that. So not all of these are your blocks, your guides are saying. A lot of this comes from parents and upbringing and also the friends around you and these discouraging energies around you. Even the partner that you have. And they're saying, this isn't them saying, get rid of the partner that you have, or don't see your kids or something like this, if they were discouraging. That's not what it's about. So in some cases, it's about learning to not be affected by those things. But there are some energies to step out of completely in the way of letting go of seeing certain people so much. And I get the feeling that you're going to know who those people are. The people who just won't bend. They just won't be respectful. So they're saying, so what's the point of being respectful back? They're saying, what's the point even of taking the high road, in a sense, where you just silently take it, they're saying. This can be positive, it can be the higher road. But they're saying in your case, you need to let that go. You need to set boundaries. You need to set a boundary in certain areas, certain places. Like when it comes to the structure of your life, how you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, who you're going to see, who you're going to speak to, what you're going to speak to them about, why you're seeing them, who's coming to you for your services, what you make your life about. And it doesn't matter if it's fantasy to them. Your guides are saying, remember, they have no proof that it is fantasy. They may feel that they have proof, they have scientific proof or something like that, that this is a fantasy world that you're existing in. This is some la la land, heebie-jeebie stuff. Not heebie-jeebie, but woo-woo stuff that you believe in, that you are into. But to you, it is real, and you have proof in your own mind from experiences that you've had that let you know that it's real and concrete and solid. It's real and concrete and solid to you. And they can't disrespect that. They shouldn't be allowed to disrespect that. And they're saying if they continue to do that, you should step in. It's almost in a sense like a punishment, they're saying. And they don't mean this in like a harsh way, but just like, if your kid is bad-mouthing you, you're going to say something, or you're going to give them a timeout, You're not going to be mean, but you're just going to set them in their place, like, this is disrespecting me. But with older people, or caliber, or with people that are more on your caliber, not that children are not on your caliber, but in the way of authority and the way that they are looked at. They're not looked at on that caliber so much that can set the boundaries and be this voice of authority as much. But they're basically saying that you need to start living your life your way in all of these little areas. if you want to succeed and be successful. They're saying if you're not successful with little things, then how are you going to gain success in bigger areas? You have to start being yourself in all of these areas, in all the ways that you know yourself to be, in all the ways that you would more naturally feel and want to be open, then open those doors, they're saying. And be with people, have people around you, put people around yourself, or put yourself around people that you can do that with and that you can express that with. And then these desperate energies will kind of come off of you, because they're calling them that because it's like there's this desperation to get air, you know, to breathe, to express yourself, to express who you are, and almost like you're kind of suffocating in this cocoon, and you are just forever this caterpillar stuck in this stasis state, and you cannot just become the butterfly. You cannot move forward into your full potential. But again, they're just speaking about the burdens of others. Okay, so now they're coming into another part of, coming more into this question one a bit. About, they've already spoken a lot about ridicule and failure, learning to trust. Okay, but how can your contact with your guides get more clear? And this guide, this dark guide, he's even saying to accept him. And there was a little bit of an issue with that in the other one. And I know that you do. He's saying you do feel a natural connection to him and a natural bond to him and to the divine feminine, or the dark essence. But even in that way, even that's a challenge for you to step out of this generally accepted love and light, and all guides appear this way, and you know, darkness is bad, it's not the divine feminine. There is this polarity. They aren't really neutral on their own. This is bad, this is a no-go zone. It's not about doing something dark or being dark in the sense of being evil, doing something evil. No, it's about embracing your inward self, your hidden nature, and the goddess, and getting in touch with that, which he has. And that's where these psychic abilities come from. Your manifestation on the outer world comes from your conscious awareness. Manifestation, conscious awareness. This is your masculine energy, but your inner awareness, your psychic development, your psychic sensitivity, this is the goddess. This is your divine feminine. And they're saying that you need to embrace that. And you need to embrace who you are. They're saying that you do have a dark essence. There is a pull to that as well. And they're saying that that is a current that you can tap into, that you can use. You know, you can sit with yourself at night. You can have candles around you. You can meditate in darkness with the light of the candles around you. You can go outside. You can meditate with the light of the moon. and honor all of these pulls, that everything that you're drawn to, everything that you are attracted to. And don't be discouraged to be who you are, and start in little ways. Make boundaries. They're saying make boundaries with people, make time for yourself. They're saying time for yourself and doing the things that you love. These two things are not special occasions, and they don't require special occasions like a birthday or something. It's my birthday, you know, I'll go do this thing for myself that I've been wanting to do all year, but I'm not worth it. Except on this day, because on this day I'm expected to be valued, and on this day others show me that I am worth it. You know, they regard me as more on this day because this is the day that I was born, so it's my special day. It's a special event day. Or your anniversary, oh, we're going to do something maybe that you like. You know, it's, so they're just saying this isn't a special occasion. This isn't a special event. This is who you are every day of your life. And they're saying it needs to become that. So they're saying that this block here with this job thing, they're saying that this block with the job thing has to do with, so you want to fully step into this and you haven't been able to, so you have this job and it's killing you and you want out of it. But they're saying what's really killing you, what's really suffocating you is your day-to-day life, your day-to-day experiences, where every day you make choices to give into others, to serve others more than yourself, and to do what you think others would prefer you to do and be the way that others would prefer you to be. So it's about setting boundaries in all these little areas, these little ways. You know, it's not about being mean. It's not about being rude. It is about honoring who you are and honoring your potential to fully step into it and grow, to develop your gifts into what they naturally are, so that then you can serve others in a true way, because then it is really what's on your path. It's the people that you'll be serving will be the ones who are really meant to be served by you in the way that they are meant to be served by you. He's coming in with this name over and over, Deja Vu. That's his name. That's the name that he's giving. I'll clarify that. That's what he wants to be called. That's what he's coming in with. He's saying it's this experience of, I've been here before, this feeling of, I've been in this place before, or I've been in this situation before, or I've had this feeling before. And he's saying, remember the feeling of being free. And he's saying that's one thing about the darkness. You are hidden. You are undisturbed. You know, the nighttime energy, people are going to bed. It's quiet, it's dark, so you're hidden. People cannot see you. People don't disturb you as much. There's a hidden quality to the darkness, and it lets you hide, but it also gives you freedom to be yourself because you're hidden. He's saying, but at the same time, as you naturally tap into that freedom, he's saying it has to come into the outer world too. It has to form, manifest into outward expression. So he's saying that you have to get this balance of both, where you fully allow yourself in your own space, in your own time, And he's saying, and you require that. You require that space for your healing, to connect to the goddess and to really make time for your own practices. He's saying that that's in a sense required for your nourishment, your growth, and your well-being as a person. Because he's saying that you're naturally drawn to that, and he's saying that you do need healing. But he's saying that healing for you means movement forward. It means accepting who you are, yes. But he's saying not relying on others to do that for you. And he's saying, and that's really the ticket. That's really the thing. He's saying that accepting who you are has been conditional. There have been conditions placed on you as far as what to accept from your own self, how to be, how to behave, how to structure your life, yes, but also that those things are acceptable. And not being that way isn't acceptable. So he's saying, so you have to put your foot down, because what other people accept as their normal isn't the true way to live. It isn't the real normal. Like he was saying, it's abnormal. It's very abnormal to live the way that they do, shutting out all their psychic senses, shutting out even the possibility that they might be there. Even the possibility that you might have guides around you, because they think that they have proof, that they are certain, they know for a fact that those things aren't real, that they aren't true, that they are just fantasy. But they lure you, they call you, they draw you, and you have to honor that. And you will go to places that they can't, and you do go to places that they can't. You travel to fields that they cannot find themselves in, except at night when they're sleeping. Their spirit, who does believe in these things, does understand them to be true, travels and gets a break from this lifestyle that normal or really abnormal people have, that they're programmed, that they're conditioned to have here, and that they're even conditioned to condition other people to behave like, to be like, to act like, to think like, to speak like, to feel like, to be like. But they're saying, but the deeper and the more intensely, the deeper that they attempt to block you. And he's saying deeper because like the more hidden they attempt to make you, the deeper that they attempt to shove this part of you down, your dark essence, he's saying, which means your psychic abilities, you know, all of these things, the divine feminine, your dark essence. The more that they attempt to shut all these psychic abilities down and these interactions down and this reality that you have down, he's saying the more there's going to be this desperation in you, this desperate urge to break free of that. And he's showing me a horse. And he's saying that you are a horse. You're the horse, he's saying. He's saying the dark horse. And this represents freedom. He's saying that as well. He's saying to connect to the energy of horses. And he's saying that horses are really a totem for you right now, or he's saying that they need to be. That you should attempt to connect to that energy in meditation as well. At the same time, he's also showing me like a tiger, this type of totem, or even a lion. But a type of big cat totem. Because he's saying that a house cat is very, very psychic, but it's more hidden than a big cat. The big cats are a bit more masculine and feminine. They're not as quiet. They're not as contained in a sense. He's saying they're not as hidden. They don't just sneak around quietly at night and hide all day or sleep all day. You know, they're also predators, and it's very important their physical body and their physical stamina, and to be very outward. In other words, a house cat, it can naturally be more inward even than a big cat. So they're very, very inward. A tiger, a lion, they're very, very inward. Cats are very, very inward. Even a panther, a jaguar, this type of thing out in nature, they're very, very inward, but they have to be, in a sense, equally outward. They have to take this inward nature that they have and express it outwardly. And that's what he wants. That's what he wants you to do, and that's what he wants for you. And he's saying that that's what's going to give you peace of mind. But it's in all of these little areas, all these little ways. And that's the reason why this job thing isn't clearing. Because, like he was saying before, it's really, it's all areas. You have to express this nature in more areas and support yourself in all these little areas. Then this bigger one will clear, because they'll see that these smaller areas are clearing. And the prices, he's saying, that's specifically going to help with this job thing. Not only because you're raising the prices, but because of the energy shift that causes. Now this question here, on the one hand, you really want to bring messages to people. On the other hand, you ask yourself, what is your right? Would it be better if you learned to teach others how to sense themselves better? This is just out of the same energy, though, that I just feel all over this question. What is my right? Would it really be better if I learned how to teach others how to sense themselves better versus you just bringing through your clear messages for them? You know, you are helping them to better themselves with your session. So that's enough. What you do naturally is enough. What you bring naturally is enough. And people are going to find their own ways. And it's definitely not about changing your focus again. It's not about changing your focus again. It's not about learning how to do something differently. Be who you are. Keep doing the things that you are doing and progress with that. And you're going to find your niche, your special niche that you're geared toward more and more and more. You're going to open up to this other community who perceives you in the right way, who perceives you as you are. And you're going to end up with true friends, with people, in other words, with people who see you in the truest way, in the clearest way. And those are your true friends, as they are a friend to who you truly are. That's what makes them a true friend, because they truly know you and are friends with you. They clearly see you and are friends with the version that they see, which is the real you. If somebody is the friend to the version of you that they see, and you're hiding the version that you really are with them, and that version can't come forward because they're not accepting of that, then they may be a true friend in a sense, but not in the way of being friends with who you truly are. So again, it's not about getting rid of all those friends necessarily. It's not about getting rid of all of them. It isn't. But it is about adding others who truly see you and will encourage you. So getting clearer on contact has to do with stepping into your energy more, making time for yourself, like they were saying, meditating in the dark, those things that they were saying, or with candles or under the moon, expressing your dark essence, which also means psychic abilities. It's not just night, it's anything inward, anything psychic, and also anything that pulls you, anything that draws you, to honor that. Your guides, with this question 4, they're saying, don't worry that you lack understanding from others. Just start being yourself more and more and more. Just keep being who you are more and more and more. If you're the crazy, aunt and mom, wife, whatever, if you're that crazy family member, then all you're doing is adding spice, and they probably need that. And they're saying that you are creative, you have an artistic mind. It's not just spiritual even, that you are different, they're saying. They're saying you don't think logically as well, and you are more open also because of this creative side, this creative, intuitive, artistic side and calling that you have. They're saying that you're a well-rounded person. You are open. You can talk to others about their experiences and understand them. So they're saying that other people should be able to speak to you and at least respect your view, because you do respect theirs. You are open to theirs. Doesn't mean you have to blab about it all the time, but when you do open up, when you want to get certain things across about who you are in front of abnormal people, then they should at least respect that. Okay, so that is all that they have to say. Mainly, that's all that he has to say. Oh, great, yeah, deja vu. Okay, so he just wants to end it with saying that again. Remember the freedom that you had before, and to recall that feeling, to dwell on that feeling. Okay, so thank you so much, the Dark Essence, for allowing me once again to do this reading for you. And I truly hope that this helps you on your path. Thank you so much. Namaste.